Snowboarding is a sense of freedom and serenity. This quote, said by Shaun White, is one of the most well-known quotes in snowboarding. Now, if you've ever snowboarded, there's a couple things you need to know. First question you need to ask yourself is, are you goofy or regular? Now this I'm referring to as your stance. Today I want to talk to you about where snowboarding started, where you should start on how to get set up for snowboarding, and then some local spots in the area to go. Now first, let's start off where this started off. Snowboarding started off in 1920. Now this may seem early to most of you, considering that it's a fairly new thing, but in reality it started in the 1920s with men who would take their piece of plywood and stand on it as they're going down a hill. This later progressed into the 1965s when Sherman Poppin first created the first snowboard. Now this first snowboard was made out of plywood, wax on the bottom, and just two little clamps to put your feet in. Nothing special. Now as you can see today, they have progressed into much more. There are more techniques and styles than you even need to know. The first thing is, you need to start is what size of board you need. Now this is where you're going to get started. First thing to do is measure what length it is from the tip of your toes to the tip of your nose. This will give you the size of board that you need to go. Any board taller than that is just going to give you more speed than you can handle. Any shorter may create a bad ending on a ramp or a rail, depending if you can control it or not. The perfect length is from your tip of your toes to your tip of your nose. It's a little catchy thing you can remember all the time. Next, you need to figure out what style of board you want. If you want freestyle, or just regular park, or if you even just for speed, there's speed boards. Now a speed board is going to be a long board that you're going to set a little farther back in, and it's going to create a little more pressure on the back to push you down the hill faster. Now if you're setting it up for a regular park or freestyle board, you'll be one more centered. And this will create a more sense of balance as you hit your jumps or go on your rails. Now as you can see on my board, here's the back, there's the front. Mine's set up a little set back in order to create a little more speed, but it still has a good spacing and where I can still maintain and control my board. Next thing you're going to want to know is your boot size. Boot size is a big factor here. You don't want too small, you don't want too big. If you have too big a board, or too big a shoe, and your board is too small, it can create toe drag, which can throw your balance off, or if you cut too hard, this could lead into a catastrophic failure. They usually say if your toes feel a little crushed, that's perfect. Now this is because you don't want to catch that edge like I was saying before. Now there is a few places where you can go in the local area, and this is what I want to talk to you about next. If you're a student, some of the best places to get season passes are Afton Alps or Welch Village. Welch Village offers right now a $100 pass for all students as long as you show your student ID. One of the best deals around. Afton has got the next best deal, and according to their website at aftonalps.com, it is $150, I believe. There's also a place down in Wabasha, Minnesota. This is called, let's see here, I can't even remember what that is, but this place in Wabasha, and then just those two major ones that I said. Trollhagen does not have a snowboarding section. It is mainly for tubing and I believe a little skiing. Now if I want to review today, first you learned where it all started. It started off in the 1960s and ended up being produced in 1965 by Sherman Poppin. Next, I taught you what size of board you need from the tip of your toes to the tip of your nose, the right spacing for your feet, and the correct boot size. The next thing I taught you is where to go. Afton Alps or Welch Village. Now, I hope you enjoy snowboarding if you do already. If not, I hope you get out there soon, and I hope this is the new hobby for you, and I will see you out there.